Folks, let me tell you about Sarah. Sarah was normal. She did everything she was told to do. She went to a good school, she got a decent job, and started building a life. But along the way, she picked up a few things, a student loan here, a credit card there for some new furniture. Then came the car loan for a shiny, reliable vehicle. It all seemed so manageable at first. Each payment was just a small piece of her paycheck. She believed she was doing what responsible adults do. She was building credit, they said. She was investing in her future, they told her. But soon, those small pieces started to feel like heavy chains. Every month, a huge chunk of her hard-earned money wasn't hers anymore. It belonged to the bank, the credit card company, and the student loan lender. She was working 40, sometimes 50 hours a week, just to send her money away. The stress started to build. Narrator. Now, let's talk about the villain in this story. Narrator. It's a sneaky, quiet villain. Narrator. Its name is interest. Narrator. Interest is the extra money you have to pay when you borrow money. Narrator. Think of it as a rental fee for using someone else's cash. Narrator. The bank gives you money and you have to pay them back, plus a little extra. Narrator. That little extra is what gets people into so much trouble. Narrator. It's the invisible thief that sneaks into your wallet every single month. Narrator. It steals your hard-earned dollars. Narrator. It's what keeps you on the hamster wheel of debt. Narrator. Compound interest is how this thief works. Narrator. That sounds complicated, but it's not. Narrator. You aren't just paying interest on the money you first borrowed. Narrator. You are also paying interest on the interest. Narrator. It's a snowball of debt rolling downhill, getting bigger and faster. Narrator. A small credit card purchase can turn into massive debt over time. Narrator. You think you're paying it down, but interest piles on. Narrator. The system is designed to keep you paying for as long as possible. Narrator. Let's get practical and talk about credit cards. Narrator. They are the most common and dangerous form of debt because they seem so harmless. Narrator. It's just a little piece of plastic, right? Narrator. You swipe it for a $1,000 television, thinking you'll pay it off soon. Narrator. Visual split infographic. Left side TV labeled $1,000. Narrator. Visual split infographic. Right side same TV labeled $1,800, showing true cost with interest. Narrator. The credit card company is thrilled. Narrator. They might have you on the hook for a 21% interest rate. Narrator. You get the bill and see the minimum payment is only $30. Narrator. You think I can handle that, so you pay the minimum. Narrator. But here's the cold hard truth. You are stepping into a trap that can last for decades. Narrator. Let's do the math. On that $1,000 TV with a 21% APR, if you only make that $30 minimum payment, narrator, it will take you over 5 years to pay it off. Narrator. You'll end up paying almost $1,800 in total. Narrator. That's $800 of your hard-earned money gone. Narrator. It just vanished into thin air, all going to the credit card company as pure profit. Narrator. You paid for that TV almost twice. That's not a good deal. That's a ripoff. It's stupid tax. Narrator. Now, imagine you decided to get mad. You decided you were not going to play their game. Narrator. Tighten your belt. Sell some stuff. Throw $200 a month at that debt. End of section. Now let's talk about the biggest myth in personal finance, the car loan. We've been taught that having a car payment is normal. It's just a part of life like paying for electricity or groceries. That is a lie. A car payment is the single thing that keeps most people from building wealth. The average car payment in America is over $700 a month. That's money that could be going toward your future, toward your retirement, toward your kids' college. Instead, it's going toward a depreciating asset. A car goes down in value every single day. You buy a nice new car for $35,000. You get a 5-year loan with a 7% interest rate. Your monthly payment is about $693. Over the 5 years of that loan, you will pay the bank over $41,500. That is $6,500 you paid in interest. And what is that car worth after 5 years? Maybe $15,000 if you're lucky. You spent over $41,000 on something that is now worth less than half of what you borrowed. That is a terrible financial decision. So what's the alternative? You pay cash for a car? Save up and buy a reliable used car you can actually afford. Maybe it's not your dream car. Who cares? Your goal isn't to impress the neighbors at the stoplight. So you buy a $5,000 car with cash. Now, instead of sending $700 to the bank every month, you pay yourself that $700. You put it into a good mutual fund. In 5 years, that money could grow to over $50,000. You turned a liability into a massive asset. Killing the car payment is one of the fastest ways to change your financial life forever. Narrator. Student loans feel different, don't they? We're told this is good debt. Narrator. It's an investment in your future. Narrator. And while an education is absolutely an investment, student loan debt has become a national crisis. Narrator. It is a mountain that is crushing millions of people, delaying their ability to buy a home, start a family, save for retirement. Narrator. The sheer size of this debt can feel overwhelming, making people feel hopeless. Narrator. They sign up for income-based repayment plans that stretch their payments out for 20 or 25 years. Narrator. Resigning themselves to a lifetime of payments is not a plan for winning. Narrator. Say you graduate with $40,000 in student loans at a 6% interest rate. Narrator. On a standard 10-year repayment plan, your payment is about $444 a month. Over those 10 years, you'll pay back over $53,000. Narrator. That's $13,000 in interest. $13,000 you could have used for a down payment on a house. Narrator. But many people choose a 25-year extended plan because they can't afford the higher payment. The payment drops to $258. Narrator. On that plan, you will end up paying back a total of over $77,000. That's $37,000 in interest. Narrator. The key to conquering this mountain is intensity. You cannot treat it like a normal bill. You have to treat it like a house fire. Narrator. What if, instead of the minimum $444, you decided to pay $800 a month? Narrator. You get a side hustle delivering pizzas. You stop eating out. You sell everything that isn't nailed down. Narrator. With that kind of focused effort, that $40,000 debt is gone in less than 5 years, and you paid only about $6,000 in interest. Narrator. You have to get angry at your debt. You have to see it for what it is. A thief stealing your dreams. Section 6. Your battle plan. How to attack debt fast. Winning with money is 80% behavior and only 20% head knowledge. You can know all the math, but if you don't change your actions, you will stay stuck. So you need a battle plan. A simple, clear, actionable plan to get you from where you are to where you want to be. The first step is simple, but it's not easy. You have to stop borrowing money. Period. You can't dig your way out of a hole if you're still holding a shovel. That means you cut up the credit cards and close the lines of credit. You commit to living on less than you make. Get on a written month-by-month budget. A budget is just telling your money where to go. Every dollar gets a name before the month begins. Some will go to housing, food, transportation, and you are going to carve out a category called attacking debt. You have to find money to throw at your debt. You'll be shocked at what you find. Coffee, subscriptions, eating out add up. Next, you need to increase your income. Your income is your most powerful wealth-building tool. For a season, you might need to work more, deliver pizzas, drive for a ride share, start a small side business, or ask for overtime at your current job. Every extra dollar you earn should be thrown like a grenade at your debt. This is gazelle intensity. Finally, cut expenses to the bone. Cook at home, cancel cable, brew coffee at home, say no to vacations for a while. People will think you're crazy, but you're not trying to be normal. Normal is broke. You are working a plan to be weird. This temporary sacrifice is the price of admission to a life of freedom. Narrator. Section 7. The debt snowball. Your secret weapon. Narrator. You're on a budget. You've stopped borrowing. You found extra money by cutting expenses and increasing your income. Narrator. Use your secret weapon, the debt snowball. This method is all about behavior and motivation. Narrator. The math nerds will tell you to pay off the highest interest rate first. That sounds smart. Narrator. But personal finance is 80% behavior. If you don't see progress, you're likely to quit. Narrator. List all your debts except your house. Order them from smallest balance to largest balance. Ignore interest rates completely. Narrator. Make minimum payments on every debt, except the smallest one. Narrator. Attack that smallest debt with every extra dollar you can find. Throw all your intensity. Narrator: throw all your extra income, throw all your budget cutbacks, attack it until it's gone. Narrator: you'll get rid of that first debt faster than you thought possible. Wiping out an entire debt is a huge victory. Narrator: once the first debt is paid off, take the entire payment you were making on it, the minimum payment plus all the extra money, and roll it into the next smallest debt. Narrator: now you're making the minimum on the second debt plus the entire payment from the first. The second debt disappears even faster. Narrator: can you see the snowball starting to roll down the hill? It's getting bigger and picking up speed. Narrator: with each debt you pay off, you free up more money to attack the next one. This creates momentum. It's a powerful psychological boost. Narrator: paying off that first credit card for $500 feels amazing. Then you knock out that medical bill for $2,000. Then you crush that car loan. Narrator: before you know it, you're staring down your last and largest debt. You're throwing hundreds, maybe even thousands at it every single month. Narrator: the debt that once seemed impossible to climb is now melting away before your eyes. The debt snowball works because it changes your behavior. It gives you hope. Section 8. Life after debt. Breathing freely again. I want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine something. Imagine it's the first of the month. You get your paycheck, and it's all yours. There are no credit card payments to make. There is no car payment to send off. There are no student loan payments draining your account. The money you earned with your hard work actually stays with you. That feeling is peace. It's like breathing fresh air after being underwater for too long. When you don't have debt, your entire life changes. The stress that used to sit on your shoulders is gone. You sleep better at night. Unexpected expenses are no longer emergencies. They are inconveniences because you have money in the bank to cover them. You stop fighting with your spouse about money. Your money becomes a tool for building the life you want. Freedom is the biggest benefit of being debt-free. You have the freedom to make choices. You don't have to stay in a job you hate. You can take a lower-paying job you're passionate about or start your own business. You have the freedom to be generous, to support causes, and help friends in need without thinking twice. You are no longer a slave to the lender. This isn't a pipe dream. It's a reality for millions. They will tell you that the sacrifice was worth it 1,000 times over. Life on the other side is better than they imagined. The car they drive is paid for. The house will soon be paid for. They are building wealth and changing their family tree forever. They have control over their money and their destiny. End of section. Section 9. Your future is yours to win. So, where do you go from here? You've heard the stories. You've seen the math. You know the plan. Now it's time for a decision. You can continue down the same path, or you can decide right here, right now, that you are done. You can decide that you are going to change. This journey will not be easy. It will require sacrifice and discipline. Your friends and family might not understand. They might even make fun of you for driving a clunker, or for not going out to eat. You will have to be willing to be weird for a while. You will have to be more focused and more intense than you have ever been before. But the temporary pain of sacrifice is nothing compared to the lifelong pain of regret. You have to want this. You have to believe that you are capable of changing your life. You are the hero of your own story. No one is coming to rescue you. The government isn't going to fix your problems. The bank certainly isn't going to help you. It starts with one small step, a budget, then another, cutting up a credit card, then another, making that first extra debt payment. Each small step builds on the last, creating the momentum that will carry you all the way to the finish line. Don't wait another day. Don't let debt steal one more ounce of your peace or one more dollar from your future. Today is the day you start your journey. Today is the day you start fighting back. Your dreams are not impossible. Your goals are not out of reach. Your future is yours to win. Take control. Break the chains. Your future is yours to win. Now go out there and do it.